It is possible to believe that all the human mind has ever accomplished is but the dream before the awakening. Humanity is the whole human species, human nature, and the human condition. Like most primates, humans are social by nature. Distinctly, humans are highly adept at utilizing systems of communication for self-expression, the exchange of ideas, and organization. Humans build monoliths, structures, and systems which transcend the individual's own lifetime and influence, thereby granting a form of immortality. But what if a more literal form of immortality were available to humans? In the past century alone, we've seen global life expectancy raised by roughly 30 years, on a planet with 4.6 billion years of history. With the rapid progression of medical science and modern technology, is it possible that we're becoming more than human?
Well, I think the term post-human, as the term transhumanism, is trying to express some kind of post-evolutionary development. Now, of course, one can see all of this as part of evolution. I mean, we've evolved a body that not only can operate and become aware in the world, but becomes self-reflective, can construct technologies that allow it to be effectively redesigned or re-engineered. So these sorts of new strategies and trajectories that technology allows creates all sorts of possibilities that we might term post-human or post-evolutionary or transhuman.
In a sense, all of the development of human technology has been a way of, or a progression of creating more and more sophisticated tools, almost all of which have had some sort of impact on human experience.
I guess originally you integrate things into the human body for ornamentation, you know, earrings and so forth. And then slowly we're getting better at putting more technology in. But in most cases it's been relatively dumb technology. It's been, you know, artificial hips and so forth, or slightly more complicated thing like pacemakers.
It's not a term that I've come across before, but I would take it to mean something involving a combination of technological devices and the human body, an integration of these in some way to produce something which is which goes beyond the capabilities of humans at present.
And then I think the other thing is we've got much better at handling and working with knowledge and information. So, you know, the big thing about humanity is we talk to each other and we share knowledge, and people can learn from the mistakes of the past. And nowadays you can learn from 2,000 years of history, and there's millions of people, and you can learn from all of them. And we were never able to do that before, you know. It's like, you know, the discovery of writing was the first step, and now the technology has grown out of all proportion, which means that we make so, you know, we have so much more information to go on. And that's, you know, changes the way in which we advance, you know.
With these advances in technology come breakthroughs in medical science. Through this mergence of technology with the human body, a blind person may see again, and an amputee can replace their organic limb with a fully functional bionic version. What we see in modern bionics is only the beginning of what this field of science has to offer.
The body lives an average length of 75 years in good health. This is an arbitrary number of years. I mean, it takes about 50 years for you to kind of get to learn anything, and then you start malfunctioning and you gradually die, right? If your internal temperature varies 2 or 3 degrees, you're in serious health risk.
We understand how we work better as well, you know, and how we as organisms exist. And that, of course, is also, you know, means we live longer. we live happier, possibly, and we live healthier, certainly, than we were in the past. So, you know, those are the big three changes in our existence. Yeah.
We can now program a paraplegic to walk. Now, a paraplegic doesn't have feelings in their legs, so they're still going to need some kind of crutches or some kind of support. But in fact, their leg movements can be computer sequenced and muscle stimulated, so that paraplegic person can in fact move.
The nervous system does work by electrical impulses, so again, the possibility certainly exists for interfacing electrical devices, either as input devices to provide an artificial retina or an artificial cochlea. These things already exist.
I met a severely handicapped person who used to have Parkinson's disease, and when you watch the video of his previous behaviour, he was uncontrollably jerking around. He couldn't dress himself, couldn't feed himself. And he had an operation where they implanted a little electronic device in his brain, and after that he was completely becalmed, acted totally normally, he was articulate. It was quite a surprising sort of outcome, but this involved implanting something inside of his brain. Of course, you know, if someone hacks into that, there could be malicious outcomes, but you know, the internet and virtual reality were initially military inventions.
With the achievements of expanded medical science and greatly extended life expectancy come important ethical questions. Some say that this technology will further inflate overpopulation, whilst others express fears that nanotechnology could be dangerous. And some are even concerned that the future may be dominated by a technocratic elite of transhuman cyborgs able to think in ways we cannot imagine.
There's some interesting and possibly you know, devious research going on, especially within military-funded projects. There's no doubt about that.